Hello and welcome back to this. This little video, we're going to talk a little bit about the environment and how we can set up lights and things within the environment. We're not going to go into any great detail, but it gives you a little place to get started. Now, along the top bar, we've got the scene settings. Now, in the scene settings, we have two options. We have settings and we have the environmental library like that. Now, at the minute, it's set to solid color. Now, if I set it to solid color, which it usually would be, I can choose any solid color that I want from there. I could put it in a red. I could put it in, I said red and I turn it blue. There you go. That's messing me your minds. I could put it in red, very angry. Again, if I was wanting to crop this out, if I was wanting to take this into another bit of software and crop it, I would probably want to look for something that I could... that would allow me to crop that very easily, and I would probably better to switch off the ground plane. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. And I could get that, which I could crop very, very easily, and I could use it in a bit of desktop publishing, or I could use it in on something else like a business card, or to a robot business or something like that. Who knows? Now I'm going to switch that ground plane back on. So that is the colors. So if I want to make any color, I just choose it from there and it will become that color. Very simple. White, I just go up into the top corner like that and it becomes 255, 255, 255, which is white, and I can just click OK. So that's the basic color controls. Now, if I spin my robot head around and I look about, I can see that up above it there is a skylight. But if I could look up, there is no skylight because the skylight is kind of switched off, but it's still emitting light. If you imagine the way that these environments are made up, they're HDRI, they're called. So they're almost like a package of an image for the background, a high quality image for the background, one for the floor, and then a series of lights attached to them. So whether it be spotlights, ambient lights, in this case, a skylight above it like that. So that'll have a series of other lights in the room, which act on that particular model when it's there like that. Now I can use these particular lights like that, but I don't have to use the images that go with them. So for instance, if I take the dry lake bed, I can use the dry lake bed and the lighting from the dry lake bed and the reflections from the dry lake bed, strangely enough. So you can see it has no dry lake bed, but it's reflecting, and if I start to render that, it reflects the dry lake bed in the render, but it doesn't actually show the dry lake bed. Now, if I want to show the dry lake bed, I can go back into my settings and go into my background, and I can switch on the environment. And when I do that, my robot, is now sadly being put out to the robot graveyard in the desert, along with most of the planes, and it's now out there in the dry desert like that. Now, as I said before, the ground plane, switch that off so it's not going away in the background. The ground plane allows me to switch the shadow on and off. I can position that. Now, the object stays the same, but I can rotate the environment like that, and I can look across the dry lake bed like that. I can also move my object up and down into the dry lake bed, etc. like that. And if I wanted it sitting just on a dry lake bed like that. That's really it. I suppose I've got reflections as well. I can have reflections on the ground. Nice in environments if it's a highly polished product and it's sitting on like a table or something that, then you could just make that surface shiny, or you could have it matte and you could have the reflections on like that. So that's about it for the settings. The only other thing I would say is, I can alter the light. If you imagine, if I went into, let's go back into my solid color, and let's make that a darker solid color. And in fact, let's put the light down. So I have my dark thing sitting in the dark, my robot head, and if I then start to render that out, I should then get a nice glow from my robot head like that, and I can get some really quite nice images taken from that. Okay, I hope you found that useful, and in the next one I'll look a little bit at how we can use depth of field and focal lengths to get some different effects. And then that will be almost this series of tutorials done. Thank you.